to reach out to any of the fundamentalist extremists who are distorting and just kind of seem to be very misguided with what Islam is. And if you think that might, efforts coming from practicing Muslims might make an impact as opposed to influence from non-Muslims.
The question was basically asking if there are any efforts on behalf of the practicing Muslims to try to, I guess, communicate with those terroristic people or those people who have wrong belief to try to encourage them to leave off those wrongful acts. If I knew where Osama bin Laden was, I would go to him and speak with him. But unfortunately, the problem is that we find that these so-called terrorists, we're here in America. And like I said earlier, the message, our voices do not get on TV. So our message is not heard. Our message isn't pushed. Our message isn't expressed the way we would like it to be expressed. As far as Hollywood and the media, we haven't gotten to that stage. We have this young gentleman who made this one little movie, and I'm pretty sure his budget was very constricted and tight. So we don't have the means of putting out movies like Hollywood does regarding Muslims and portraying us in a bad light, to do the opposite. We would love to do it. We would love to be out there and calling the people to what is right and telling those people, listen, you're wrong, and these are the proofs and the evidences for why you are wrong. But unfortunately, the money is not there to be able to do those things, nor are the connections. We don't know who these people are. You find most of them, we see their face on TV. God knows best where they are and what country they're residing in, what hole they're hiding in. So it's difficult. It's very difficult. But I hope that we do have people who are promoting positive messages and they're trying to get them out there, but it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge.
We'll take one more question each from both sides, then we need to visit the mosque to close.
Okay. Anybody on this side?
Is there any significance as to why men of this faith have beards?
Is there any significance to why the men in Islam have beards? Yes. The Prophet, we believe that the Prophet commanded us to trim our mustaches and to grow our beards. This is an example, like I told you earlier, that Allah tells us in the Quran that indeed in the Messenger of Allah you have the best model and example, so we emulate them. We like to emulate them in their behavior, their character, in their look. So we see that all of the prophets had beards. If we don't draw pictures of our prophets out of respect for them, but you see that when the people draw pictures of the prophets, they have beards. So we, out of that respect and love of our prophet and following and imitating him and following his commands, we as well grow our beards.
I noticed your school is called like IQRA. What does that mean?
Iqra. Iqra means read. So this is what we push here in the school: read, learning, knowledge. So this is one of the first things that was told actually to the Prophet Muhammad when the first revelation came down. The first thing that was told to him was Iqra, read. So it's connected to knowledge.
When you're praying, does it say that like Muhammad will bless you if you believe in him? To like bless his people?
Can you speak up? I'm sorry to hear.
Like Muhammad, in the Quran, does it say like if you believe in Muhammad, he'll bless your people? He'll bless you, he'll bless your food and labor, things like that?
That if you believe in Muhammad, that he will bless your Muslim neighbor? That he will bless your Muslim or non-Muslim neighbor? That was the question? I've never heard anything of that nature. No, I've never heard anything of that nature. With the Prophet told us about our neighbors. In regards to our neighbors, the Prophet told us that you are to treat your neighbors with kindness.
How about you personally, like as believers, because you're going to bless you for your beliefs? Like,
Can we bless?
Like people,
Our religion, we don't walk around telling people we bless you and we believe that they're blessed. We don't believe in that. That's just not from our religion that we walk around and say we bless you and you're a blessed person now. How do I know that you're going to be blessed? Only God knows that. I can't. I don't have any strength or power for that. But regarding our neighbors, we're to be just and kind with our neighbors. This is something that in Islam is very important. For instance, me and my neighbors, we have a relationship. I go on vacation, I tell them I'm going on vacation, anything is wrong, please call me. My neighbor that lives behind me, she says my key is under my doormat, this is where my key is, if you need to come in, is there. If you need anything from my yard, is there. And this is how we interact with our neighbors, basically. Councilman?
Again, this is remarkable and your questions were great. There is not enough that we can tell you in the classroom. A lot more comes this way, through our guest speakers, through the visitors to places of worship like this one, which is, again, I said earlier, an abode of God. Is Maya from my Thursday class here? Did she make it? Where is she? Oh, right, oh, she made it. Okay, thank you.
Abdul Razak.
The Imam, Spendim, a very dear brother, has a standing complaint against me that we don't allow enough time at this place. And this is the first time he's missing, and we have enough time for this place.
I will convey it to him, definitely.
So we'll go to the mosque.
Sure. So
The
we'll get up.
masjid, that's where we do sajde,
Yeah. So
submission, bow.
we'll get up and walk over to the mosque. All I ask is that prior to entering the mosque itself, that we remove our shoes, just out of respect for the prayer.